Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, I'm Gannett,
I'm Ethan.
and this is Out the Dorm Podcast, episode 6.
Yes, it is.
And no, we're not in a dorm, we're not in a library.
Nope.
We are at my house, my humble abode, the house in which I was raised, because we're on break.
Very nice house.
Yes, thank you. We're on break from college. For the summer semester ended. Now we're back home, but we'll be back on campus. What day is it? Is today the 9th?
Yeah.
Today's,
I move in the 23rd. So.
yeah, I'm moving the 21st. It's like
2 weeks.
Yeah. So we might be a little bit late on episode 7, but this one was going to come out never mind. Anyways,
It'll be fine.
so today there's nothing specific that we're going to talk about. Just kind of
It's more riffraff.
riff-raff as usual.
But we have some it's not like drafts or stuff. Like we have.
Of course, yeah. No, we've got some
discussion.
We'll be talking. It's just nothing new.
Yeah. There's no new big movies out or anything. So.
No, nothing
Except
big.
for Cape Crusader, but we haven't watched that yet.
Right. No,
We'll talk about
we
that
definitely
eventually.
need to. Real quick, I want to make sure your camera is. Yeah. Okay. It does look a little weird with my microphone, so I'm gonna move this back. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Actually, first of all, let's talk about Gravity Falls.
Okay.
So you're watching it for the first time. Tell me about it.
All right. So I'm on I think season 2, episode 2 or 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Season 1 out of 10.
In terms of other Cartoon Network shows and stuff like that.
It's Disney.
Or that's not really Cartoon.
It's not Cartoon Network. No, it is Disney. It's Disney XD.
I'm probably gonna go 8.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I haven't seen season 1 in its entirety, and probably since freshman or sophomore year.
A little young.
But it's really good. Season 2 is really good though.
Yeah.
Season 2 is probably a 10 out of 10.
There's no point that I didn't like it. I don't know. I think once the episodes start getting once they start developing the plot,
Mhm.
it gets really good, and then
Right.
the other episodes you still enjoy them. The filler episodes you still enjoy them. It doesn't. It's not. boring.
Yeah, exactly. In season 1, there's not a giant continuous storyline.
Yeah.
But in season 2, that really starts to develop.
Mhm.
So
It's really good so far, though.
Yeah.
So
And they've been teasing all this stuff with the season 3. They released this Book of Bill, which, do you know who Bill is at this point in the show? Okay,
Yeah.
so they released a Book of Bill. Alex Hirsch did, and in it, it's just mostly just, for the most part, it's just kind of random stuff like puzzles, extra lore to Bill into the show. But then there's also some riddles and hints that kind of potentially foreshadow a third season. There was one thing where it led to this website called thisisnotawebsite.com.com, and on it was a giant timer, and that timer hit 0, but then nothing happened. Disney hasn't said anything. Alex Hirsch hasn't said anything, so we don't really know what's going on. But all the Gravity Falls fans are very much in heavy anticipation.
Yeah.
Because season 3 would be awesome.
yeah, I'm still pretty early on in season 2, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It gets
what
crazy.
happened, but yeah, really good so far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, great show. Okay. Give us, what do you got? You've got all
you wanna do
the...
High Low Buffalo?
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, High-Low Buffalo. You want to go first or me?
Do you have? You know what you're gonna say?
I don't know my Buffalo, but I know my other 2.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my high of the week is I saw the movie Kneecap in theaters on, today is Thursday. I saw it on Monday, I think. It's so good. Pretty much everyone watching this, which is going to be 20 people, has no idea what it is probably, because it is a pretty underground movie. It's Irish.
I hadn't even heard of it.
Exactly, and I hadn't either, but I was just looking on AMC to look at movies, and it was there, and I was like, oh, what's this? It's an Irish movie about a rap trio that is trying to save the Irish language, and it is based on a true story. And the best part about it is the rap trio play themselves in the movie, and they do a really good job, which you don't see a lot of biopics have the actual characters being played by the actual people, and if you do, they normally aren't that great. These guys are good. They're perfect for the role, literally. So that was probably my high. I enjoy that movie, and I'm listening to their music now, Kneecap's music on Spotify. So definitely go check out Kneecap's music if you like rap and if you can stomach some heavy language, even though most of it isn't Irish. So if you don't speak Irish, most of it's just it's going over your head.
Peelers.
Peelers, that's what they call police. My low is a hurricane came through where I live, and the damage for my house wasn't that bad, but for the surrounding houses, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
But we were out without power for like 2 days, and still are currently without internet, Wi-Fi, which is super annoying, especially for someone who posts TikToks pretty consistently and who really was planning on watching a lot of TV while I was on break. So that really freaking sucks. And hopefully the internet comes on today, but honestly, at this point, I'm not expecting it to, but we'll see. And my Buffalo is I'm going to see Borderlands tomorrow, maybe the day after, or maybe Sunday, I don't know. And it's got really weird reviews, like really bad reviews, and I'm very interested to see if it's good or not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I haven't seen a single good one.
A single good review?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
So,
It's all, I mean, it's got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means that out of all the critics who watched it, none of them liked it. Not a single one liked it. It's getting like, there's a few like 5 out of 10s or like 4s, which is
it's
like,
still terrible.
it's still terrible. Yeah. But like, if it's funny and like, if the effects are good, it'll be a decent time.
Yeah. I don't like. I would assume people had just higher expectations for it because like I don't know. Like,
Maybe,
I don't even think
yeah.
I'm going to see it. But
Yeah, I mean,
if I did, I didn't have like high expectations for it.
Right.
So
It's like no one had any expectations, and they still think it's terrible.
yeah.
So
Crazy.
that's my Buffalo. Oh, I should have explained how the game works. So high, low, Buffalo. The high is the high of your past week. The best part. The low is the worst part. The Buffalo is just a random thing, whatever you want to talk about. We got permission from the Escape Pod podcast to do this segment. So that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Shout out, Andrew.
That's right.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay. So my high is probably I get to being here. Just like awesome.
Ethan came over to my house.
Yeah, so it was like 2-hour drive. It was worth it. So there's
Yeah.
no Wi-Fi, which definitely does suck, but there's still a lot of fun. We had fun last night.
Mhm.
It's very nice here. So
Thank you.
that, and then also seeing my family and my girlfriend again,
Yeah.
coming back. Still got 2 weeks with them, so
I know. Yeah, we're not even halfway done.
yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
My low is probably not having Wi-Fi.
While here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. But yeah, we like would have watched a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We would have watched a lot of stuff.
We
We would have
would've
done a lot of
finished.
editing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of stuff could have been done, but wasn't
that
in
does
the
suck, but that's probably like the worst thing that I've had happen to me in the past week. I mean, everything else has been good so far. So.
nice.
And then my Buffalo is going on vacation next week. I'm
Cool.
going to a lake house in South Carolina and just going on a boat for like about a week, just hanging out in the sun, bringing the dogs with us. So.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2. I have a golden retriever and a cocker spaniel, and then my sister's coming, and she has a golden retriever, and he's like the size of 2 golden retrievers.
Great.
So that's
So-
fun.
Essentially 4 dogs.
And they're crazy. So,
I can imagine.
but yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Go tubing and stuff. So I love
Yeah.
doing that.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Cool. Good Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. So we've just got a bunch of topics to talk about, random questions, like hypotheticals, things we're looking forward to.
You want to go first? You want me to?
You got it.
What Marvel movie are you most excited for? Like upcoming?
Ever? Like any announced project?
Yes. Anything they've announced. So far.
If it happens, Blade.
Really?
If it actually happens, Blade, because they've been going through so many like issues, like losing
Yeah.
directors, writers, like budget cuts or stuff like rescheduling. So the movie itself has been like delayed like 3 or 4 times. They're on like their 3rd or 4th director. They might not even
Mhm.
have one actually right now. But
So it's a mess.
yeah, it's a giant mess. But if that movie happens, I'm going to be very excited for it because Mahershala Ali, if he does play the character,
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see because I love him. So probably that. I'm really looking forward to Kraven the Hunter. To be honest,
Yeah.
like even though it's Sony and it very well could be totally mid or bad, I'm still excited for it. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's awesome.
Yeah. I'm definitely more excited for Craven and Blade. Like
Yeah.
I like Blade, but like
Mhm.
I'm just not like.
I don't even like love the original movies. I've only seen the first one. I just like the idea of the character a lot, and the
Yeah.
fact that it's Mahershala Ali.
Mhm.
So I'd say that's mine.
Okay. I think I'm gonna say Secret Wars.
Okay. How come?
Just like, well, because they don't we don't know who the director for that is, do we?
Secret Wars? I mean, that's Avengers Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the Russos.
Okay.
I think they're doing that and Doomsday.
Okay. Then that's like mainly why, because obviously they did Civil War, Infinity War, all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So just to like go back to that, I think it'll like, I think it can rival being as good
Really?
as maybe not Infinity War, but like I think it'll be like probably as good as Endgame.
So top 5 MCU for you? You think it could be?
I think it could like get in the number 5 spot maybe.
Wow. I think it in my at best I think it'll be 15.
Really?
Yeah, top 15 at best. Also,
Or
okay,
Doomsday.
you
They're both
said
up
you said
there.
Marvel movie, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna okay. So that's my MCU answer, or at least live action answer for any Marvel movie. It's absolutely Spider Verse.
Oh well, yeah,
Okay.
including that, then definitely Spider.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Not
those are,
even
like, my favorite
close.
movies ever,
Yeah,
so,
exactly. It's
yeah.
not even close. But for MCU / like live action, yeah, Blade and Craven.
Okay.
And Craven's not MCU, but whatever.
Okay, that's good.
All right, keep them coming. Mine are kind of weird, so.
Okay. Who do you think the funniest character in fiction is?
In all of fiction, that is a ridiculous question.
My mind immediately went to like sitcoms. Like, there's gonna be
That's
funnier.
yeah. I didn't even think about
Like,
that.
there probably are funnier, or there definitely are like funnier characters, I'd say. But like, I just immediately thought of sitcoms, so like, I went to like Dwight Schrute kind of.
Yeah. Dwight and Jim.
Or like Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Ron.
Like Abed.
Yeah, that's like Abed.
Okay, I wouldn't say Abed's funny, but like he is funny. But Troy is definitely funnier. Troy or Chang. Yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah,
like Troy and Abed together are really really funny, but like on his own, Abed isn't like constantly hilarious.
Well, it's just he's so weird. Like everything he does like makes you laugh because they're comments.
Yeah. Most of the characters in Community are definitely up there. I'm trying to think of other like comedy shows.
Chandler Bing is the. I don't know if you heard me say that from Friends.
Oh, I don't like Friends.
Really?
It's not funny.
No. Okay. Well, I don't think it's that funny, but like.
Well, okay. Which one's Chandler's the How You Doing, right?
No, that's Joey. Chandler is
Chandler's the
Matthew
guy.
Perry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
He's like super sarcastic. Like that's his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Like
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sarcastic usually. So like.
You are kind of sarcastic. I'm trying to think. Like it Rick and Morty, I really wouldn't put any character from there, other than maybe the president. Rick is funny, but he's also just really witty.
Yeah.
And like there are other characters that I've watched on TV that do make me consistently laugh more.
Yeah, I don't think like you can put one of a Rick and Morty character up there like on their own. I think it's like collectively.
Exactly, right. It's just the whole show's like writing and dynamics is really what makes it genius. So I would say I have a hard time just saying like this character is the definitive funniest character in all of fiction.
Then just do like one. Just
I would say Troy is up there. Jim is up there. Jim from The Office.
Okay, I like that.
And I want to do one more. Oh, probably Job from Arrested Development, which you haven't seen.
I've never seen it.
Or Tobias, also from Arrested Development. That show is so funny. It's a good show.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. I'm probably like majorly missing a show.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or a movie too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna think of movies.
Well,
Jonah Hill in pretty much any movie is really funny.
Yeah, so that's like I was thinking of like
21 Jump Street.
Like
super bad.
Hilarious.
Borat.
Have you seen that?
Oh my gosh, Borat is actually a really huge contender,
Really?
especially because he's such a character. Like he's just so like.
I've seen stuff
unique.
Like from.
You've got to watch
this.
the movie. You've got to watch it. Okay, good question. Tough.
Yeah, I'd say
impossible. Really.
I'd say probably like Dwight or something. Like I like Jim better in The Office, but like I think Dwight's funny just because he's so like.
That's fair. I totally get Dwight think someone thinking Dwight is funnier. I do think Jim is funnier, but like it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Also, Michael, obviously.
Yeah. This is a pretty good one. I just saw this online. What song blew your mind the most when you first heard it? Or like,
Wow. So this one's kind of weird because for me, a lot of my favorite songs ever, I didn't like when I first heard them,
really?
and it took like a few listens to be like, okay, I actually really like this, and now I like have listened to like hundreds of times.
Okay, yeah. I like overplay, like when I find a song that I love, I
Mhm.
overplay it to the point where I get annoyed of it.
Right.
So these two that I have written down here, I did that with them, but I didn't get annoyed with them. Like I still just like overplay them and I still love them. They're really like very different songs. If I Can Dream by Elvis Presley.
Okay. Nice.
Because I have a playlist with like
Just
older
Elvis.
music,
Oh,
not
okay.
just Elvis, but like Neil Diamond
Cool.
and stuff like that. So I have that on there, and I
Nice.
listen to that like every time I'm driving back and forth from school. I like play that. It's always super good.
Nice.
Just gives me goosebumps. And then Every Day by ASAP Rocky.
Oh, the one you were just. That's why you were singing it earlier. That's a good one.
That's like I don't know what it is, but like all the other songs that I love, like I just get annoyed after listening to them like so much. But with
Mhm.
these, I can literally just do it over and over, and I never get tired of it.
Valid. I would say for me, for these aren't necessarily my okay. So Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi is probably my first one. That probably is my favorite song of all time. It's
Really?
definitely top 10. Like picking
I
a
can see
favorite
that, but
song
yeah,
is really hard.
Yeah.
But for me, that song is really really high up there. It's a huge comfort song.
Mhm.
So that's up there. There's a lot of other songs I love and are my favorite songs, but again, I just like didn't really like them my first listen.
Mhm.
So songs that blew my mind my first listen, I would say another one is Earthquake by Tyler the Creator, because Igor is is my favorite album of all time, and Earthquake is like the most. It epitomizes that album,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I remember just loving that song when I first heard it. So I'd pick those two. Yeah.
Okay. I'd say another one is Homecoming by Kanye. I remember like the first time I listened to that, I just had my headphones on, like I was just doing some homework, and then it came on for the first time, and I was like, wow.
It took me a while to figure out what that song was talking about, even though he says it pretty directly at one point. He says, "If you don't know by now, I'm talking about Chi-Town."
Yeah.
And that he's not talking about a girl. Because like when I thought it was about a girl, I was like, this is really confusing. Like there's got to be like a lot of context here that I'm missing. Like that she was like really old or like older, and he was like 3. I was like, how is he a 3-year-old and like remembering all of this? So yeah. But then I saw a video and I realized it all, and I was like, oh man, I'm stupid.
Okay, what is your favorite Spider-Man variation, or like
Ever?
Yeah.
Peter B. Parker in Spider-Verse by Jake Johnson, I think is the voice actor. He's awesome.
That's probably like my third, maybe my second.
Third. Let's do a top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah. All right. You start.
Shoot.
All right. So there's Miles.
Oh, do we need to have them in order, or do you just want to do like Mount Rushmore?
Let's do a Mount Rushmore. So
okay.
All right. Let's do. Okay. So there's Miles, Toby, Andrew, Tom, Peter B, Insomniac. Have you played the Spider-Man games?
Yes.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
Have you played both of them?
I've
only played the first one. I haven't beat it.
No, I've only played the first one because like I didn't have them. I just played them at my friend's house.
That's true.
I have my 4.
Okay, I don't, so it's fine. Or actually, go ahead.
Okay, so no specific order. Just forgot his name. Spider Noir.
Yep.
You guys can't see, it's my Apple Watch thing. Because he's like the goat, and the scene where they're in like the reactor chamber or whatever, and
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he like puts his hat in the guy's face,
and
punches
then
him, and then pulls a car into him. It's just
it's one of the best combos we've seen.
Yeah. Like literally that scene alone. But just like I'm super excited for the show that he's got coming, and he's just like really mysterious. And like the 2 comics that I've read with him are just really good. So
yeah, the show's gonna be good. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Amazon Prime, so it'll probably should be pretty good. They don't really do a lot of bad shows, at least not the comic book ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be pretty good. Then I have Spider-Punk.
Nice. Good pick.
Just like what's the word? He's a rebel.
Yeah, he's designed to be like likable.
Yeah. So he just fights back against. He's not a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome design.
Yep. Great voice actor.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya is awesome.
And then hopefully we see him, or like, what am I saying? There like people were saying that we might be going into his like universe or whatever in the next movie. So, like,
we didn't see it at all, right?
No. But like
that'd be
someone,
cool.
I think it was Straw Hat Goofy said like the portal design was like resembled his like glitchy sort of.
Yeah, like just kind of like sporadic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, seeing his universe would be pretty cool.
So, yeah,
although to be honest, I feel like his universe would be kind of normal, because if he's a punk and a rebel by our standards, then by like logically, then the universe he's from should be pretty similar to ours. Does that make sense? Like if they were to go there and he gets there and it's like super punk and rebel-y, then he's not a rebel. Then he's just a sheep, you know?
Well, yeah, in like his universe, but like it's not like he's a sheep in his universe. Like he's defiant to the Spider Society for like what they do, which
but
is
he's
like
also just but he's also just defiant in general. Like he's just always like anti-hegemonic.
Yeah, but like that's just the world that he comes from. Like it'd be weird if.
So you think that if we see his universe, it's going to be very punky?
Somewhat, yeah. Like I think it would be like they've got to do something with it. Yeah, I feel like
if they do that though,
like somewhat rock oriented.
I think it will be rock oriented, but I don't know. We'll see. You know, in the comics, Spider Punk kills Norman Osborn, who he like becomes president, and then Spider Punk kills him with his guitar. He like splits his head open with it like an axe.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get that in the movie. We definitely won't get that in the movie.
No, we won't. Then I had Peter B.
Yeah.
Just because like he's like your dad Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Dad man. That's I think I'd be him, but like I don't know if I've said this on here. I think I'd be him like when he's like still fat and like eating pizza.
Like if you were Spider-Man, or if you were
if I was Spider-Man,
you'd be most like
I'd be him, but like specifically when he's eating pizza, like crying and
doing crunches and push-ups, right?
And like eating the burger and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so what you said Peter B,
Punk and
Noir and Punk is I want to guess your final one. Is it going to be Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Andrew's my. I was gonna say he's my favorite.
Okay.
Like he's my number one out of all of them. I like just
fire.
Like specifically the scene where he's like fighting the lizard in the school, and he's just like super quippy, and then he's like when he like crawls around the lizard's like entire body, like webbing him up and stuff. That's just like probably one of my favorite Spider-Man scenes because it's like I don't know. I just like that sort of like style that he has.
It's very, very Spider-Man. Yeah. Very, very like accurate to the character.
Yeah.
Okay, so my top four, or my Mount Rushmore, not in any particular order. We're gonna go with Miles for number one, or not for number one, for my first one. Miles. Really well written, specifically the Spider-Verse iteration. Really well written, good character. Love his powers. I don't remember the voice actor's name. Oh my gosh! Either way, he does a really good job. He's just a really likable guy. I've loved the direction that they've taken with him and the way they compare him to the other Spider-Man and like emphasizing his differences. And then I've got Tobey. Tobey's definitely my favorite of the three live actions. I think it's just mostly a nostalgia thing. Just the fact that I was raised watching those movies and not Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield. Yeah. So I just think of him a lot more fondly than the other two. And I like his movies a lot more than the other two. Definitely a lot more.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I don't
disagree, but like
I don't think he's perfect for Spider-Man because like there are times where he is kind of goofy or he just doesn't like look the role, like just because he just looks older, even though he's actually like pretty close to the age when they first started filming.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, he's great. Then I've got Peter B also, so we share that one. I mean everything you said, like he's funny, he's super likable. He is exactly what you'd expect Spider-Man to be after he's been doing it for 20 years.
Mhm.
Because he's like kind of worn out, but he's still like willing to do it. He knows all like the little shortcuts, and he's got it figured out. And he's got some of the best lines out of that movie,
Yeah.
out of that series. They're just most of them are from him. Then I've got the Scarlet Spider, the Andy Samberg one from Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the Scarlet Spider design, the vest, the eyes, the just
For sure, like his entire display.
oh
is
yeah,
awesome.
he's definitely he and 2099 are he and 2099 are the best looking Spider-Man in my opinion in the Across the Spider in the Spider-Verse movies, with Hobie being a close second, I guess, because they share first. He's hilarious. Andy Samberg is definitely one of the funniest people ever, in my opinion. And 2099 is close. I really like 2099.
Yeah, I thought you would put him in there.
His aura is unmatched, and Oscar Isaac, and yeah, he's badass.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for that one. Okay, who do you want to play Mr. Fantastic in the new Fantastic Four?
Do I have to? So like, if we replace Pedro Pascal?
I mean, unless you want him to play.
Yeah. No, I don't want him to. I honestly feel like Joseph Quinn would probably be better as Fantastic than as Human Torch. Like, I don't know if he'd be my number one pick, but I think he could be better. Let me think.
I definitely I like John Krasinski as an actor, and I liked how he looked in like just like seeing like obviously they made a fool of him in Multiverse of Madness, but like just like his acting with it, like I thought was pretty good, and like I thought he looked good, like looked accurate to how he looks in the comics.
Yeah.
And like I just thought he did a good job. Did a good job in that, and I think he would just do a good job in the movies. So like I do understand kind of why they're going in a different direction from it, but like replacing him with Pedro Pascal just like does not seem it to me at all.
I think it'll be good. The thing that I've learned over the past few years is whenever you doubt a comic book or like whenever a comic book casting seems really ridiculous, it normally turns out really good. Like when Robert Pattinson was announced to be Batman, I thought that was really dumb.
Yeah.
I also hadn't really seen him in anything other than the one Harry Potter movie, but he did an absolutely amazing job. And it's like they have so much writing on this that they're not just like picking a person just to be good. Like the person did have to audition and like compete with other actors to get this role.
Yeah.
So I do think he'll be at least pretty good. We'll see if he's amazing.
Like, I know he's a good actor, like just from the other stuff that he's been in, but just like based off the look alone for me, like I'm
trying to think of like other people who fit the bill. Of just like the kind of like skinny, nerdy kind of guy. But are also like younger, but not too young.
Yeah, but like the
Shameik Moore. That's Miles Morales' voice actor. I don't know. I wish I had more time to think about that.
Yeah. I don't like.
I'll get back to that.
Okay, maybe we can answer that next week or something.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I've got something. So you know Invincible. You haven't seen season 2, right?
I've seen like half of it.
Okay. Omni-Man yelling at Mark at the end of season 1 is by far the greatest scene in the whole show.
You think so?
Yeah. Every part about it is perfect, down to the last minute detail.
Yeah, I agree.
Like like what will you have after 500 years? And Mark's like his bloodied, pulped body is just like, I'll have you, Dad.
Yeah, the entire like intensity and like when I watched it, like I didn't know because I've never read a single Invincible comic, so like I don't know the storyline of it at all.
Right.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I didn't know if he like killed, like if he kills Mark right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like I had no idea what was gonna happen. So that was like a very like obviously it's a very good scene. I can't think of any other one from the show that I've seen that's better than it.
Also, real quick, that's a dog walking around. I don't know if y'all can hear that with the mics, but my dog just did a little lap around my house. So that's his really loud toenails. But yeah, no, definitely the best scene. The few that I can think of that come close are Omni-Man versus the Guardians of the Globe. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's what I immediately thought of.
There are some moments in season 2 that I won't mention because I don't want to spoil anything. But I'm trying to think of like really good moments with Mark. There's a lot of stuff for him in season 2 that I think are like he has better moments in season 2 than in season 1
For sure.
because he's grown a lot more.
Yeah.
And Omni-Man's not there.
Every time, like, he gets, like, mad or whatever in season 1, and then he,
Yeah.
like, still just gets his butt kicked anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, like, change anything. So, one scene that I was, like, surprised by as much as, like, the Omni-Man yelling at him scene, was when they fight Battle Beast in in season 1.
Yeah, and Battle Beast is just insane.
Yeah, because I thought Mark was about to, like, destroy him.
I didn't think Battle Beast was going to be as big of an issue as he
pretty
was.
much kills him. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
And I haven't read the comics, but apparently Battle Beast is like a top 3 most powerful character.
I didn't know that at all. Like,
I was not expecting
I'd
it.
never
See, like, he
heard
almost
of it.
died.
Yeah,
Mark
so,
was
like,
right there to die.
he was like right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was I definitely like the other scene better.
That's probably my number 2 scene actually.
Yeah.
That whole fight with Titan, I think his name is.
I'd say Omni-Man yelling,
Mm-hmm.
then the Guardians of the Globe fight against Omni-Man, and then that scene probably. Or actually, I'd switch 2 and 3. I do think the Battle Beast killing him scene is probably my second.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Just because like the Omni-Man yelling is definitely a better scene, but just when
the shock value.
Yeah, when the Battle Beast scene happened, I was like,
yeah.
what?
Like, wow,
Like,
what is this happening?
yeah, because I thought he died. So like,
Yeah, I know.
that's the second time.
That show does a really good job of really building you up and then just like really relieving you like how the heck is this situation going to get resolved. You've seen Rexplode against the Lizard League, right?
I've seen that.
That's up there too.
That's definitely
When he
really
gets
good
shot
too. in the
in
brain.
the head,
Yeah, like,
and then he's like still alive, and just the rest of his arc for the rest of that season. Yeah, that's up there for me too.
I think that's the last episode that I watched.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta finish. The other thing I've got is that Kraven the Hunter will be better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Like obviously, I have no real like, I have nothing to really base that off of. But Deadpool and Wolverine, I did give it a 7, but right now, if I rewatch, I'd probably give it a 6. Just the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that was kind of just fine. Like I feel like the comedy carried it a lot.
Well, definitely. I went through like I was waffling around with it. Like my original score that I gave on here was a 6, and then I was like, maybe it's like a 7, like maybe even like a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I said 6.5. I was like, maybe it's like a 7.5, but now I'm like, I am at like a 6.57 still. Like,
yeah, and especially like a lot of content creators are also like saying it's just fine.
Yeah,
like it's really only just the general audiences that are praising it as
I cannot
heavily
at all understand how people think that this is the best. Like, maybe your favorite MCU movie, that's fine. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's your favorite.
maybe,
but if you say it's the best,
absolutely not. It's not even close.
It's not even in the ballpark of the best.
It's
like, no. There's nothing that puts it up there with Infinity War, Civil War.
There's not a single thing that this movie does better than any other MCU movie.
Yeah, no. So
like, it's definitely not the funniest one either.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, we didn't write this down.
Okay.
What are your funniest MCU movies, or like what movies do you think are funnier than
in the MCU?
Yes, than Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine.
I would say that Deadpool 1 is funnier.
Okay, I agree. Do you like Deadpool 1 better than Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, undoubtedly. Deadpool 1's really good.
Me too.
Deadpool 1, and that is like actually like really good, and it's not just carried by like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or the comedy. It's just like actually a really solid superhero movie.
I'm gonna ask you another question right now.
Do
you think the opening scene, the highway scene in Deadpool 1 is better than the opening scene in Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. I think that the Deadpool and Wolverine scene is just so... It's really, really funny. Mm-hmm. So it is carried a lot by the comedy and the irony of like him breaking apart... Spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine. Of him breaking apart the Wolverine skeleton and then just like obliterating people with it. It's mostly just like an action showdown. Like it's just an action like...
I love
explosion.
that. Might be my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. Wow.
It's definitely top 3 of my favorite in the movie.
Yeah. No. Maybe.
But I still like the highway scene in the first Deadpool movie better than that one. Just like counting down each bullet that he has left, and
I think it epitomizes Deadpool's like the way he lives better too. Like you just like that scene as like the introduction scene to the character on screen.
Yeah,
is very fitting to what's in the comics.
It's like sitting on the side of the like on a highway,
drawing,
like,
and then he just like jumps and just like woo.
Maximum effort.
Yeah.
Okay,
wait. So funny movie. I would say Guardians. Definitely Guardians 1.
Okay. Yes. That's
maybe fine. Guardians 2 and 3.
I don't know.
2 I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. 2's my least favorite out of the Guardians.
Oh no, for sure.
I don't.
I thought 3 was overrated though. It was good, but nothing crazy.
Well, I think
it was sad. Really sad.
The time that it was released, it was better than like many other projects that we had at the time. Because like
around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say around that time. Yeah, but there was also like a lot,
including
of
like the shows and everything.
Yeah, when it came out, it was like one of the better MCU projects.
So I said that's
5 years.
People overrated it because
not 5 years because I don't want it anymore.
Not overrated, but that's why they hyped it up so much. Is
because
it was But I still think it's a really good movie. Like it was a very good.
It's just when you compare it to some of the highs of the MCU. Other than that, it doesn't shine.
Yeah, I agree, and I still like Guardians 1 is.
Guardians 1's definitely better. Yeah. All the Guardians movies are really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other movies because
none of No Way Home. I think
No Way Home is pretty funny.
I think it's funnier than Deadpool and Wolverine was.
A big one that we're missing out on it, or that we're not talking about, is Ragnarok, which it is really funny, but I also just don't like that movie very much.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings it down a peg for me.
What would you rate Ragnarok out of 10?
Probably a 5.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd give it probably like a 7.
Yeah. I just don't see the appeal.
I'd probably say it's on the same level as Deadpool and Wolverine. So 6.5.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I think it's funnier than Deadpool and Wolverine was though.
I would say it's probably not. Also, Deadpool 2 is up there in terms of funny too.
Yeah,
Deadpool 2 is really funny, especially all the meta stuff at the end of the movie, like the time traveling. Definitely brings it up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Even Avengers, like
the
original Avengers. I think it had more funnier moments.
More genuinely funny. Like a lot of the Deadpool humor is just like
even the simple stuff crude. Like the Hulk and Thor take down I don't remember what these things are called, but the big like flying alien.
In Avengers?
Yes.
The giant ones? Yeah, I don't remember what they're called.
They take that down, and then like Hulk and Thor are standing like in whatever, and he just like punch. I'm in your camera.
No, it's fine.
Even simple stuff like that is like, I think I enjoy. Like I think that's funnier than
Tony Stark is just like he's very legitimately funny.
Yeah.
Like
and he has the shawarma scene at the end even is just it's like stupid but like funny.
So I would
as opposed to like the constant repetitive humor that Deadpool and Wolverine has, because it's just the same thing over and over and over.
And again, like it is really funny. Repetitive, but it is actually still really funny.
Yeah,
but if they keep doing these kinds of movies with that same humor, it won't be funny.
Yeah,
like this is the limit.
Okay,
so I would probably say it's number 5 in terms of funniest MCU movies, with Guardians 1 and 2 above it, Deadpool's 1 and 2 above it, and then probably the Avengers, maybe No Way Home.
Okay.
Which I don't even like No Way Home, but I will recognize that it is funny.
Okay, I can agree. Yeah, that's like I'm pretty close to understanding.
Okay,
so. You want to do another one?
Sure. I only have like one other one. The new Captain America movie will be better than the first Avenger. The first Captain America movie, not the Avengers.
I love the first Avenger.
I'm not as big on it as a lot of other people.
I don't. Well, like
it's definitely the weakest of the 3.
Yeah. I still do love it though, because this is going to.
This is a hot take.
This is going to tie into another question I was going to ask.
I do have pretty high expectations now for the Sam Wilson movie, because the trailers are pretty good, and I do think that the MCU is taking itself a lot more seriously now.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think they've always been taking themselves seriously, but they're not doing as many risks like
Mhm.
they were with like Eternals and the shows like She-Hulk and just doing this kind of random projects. Like this one is kind of them trying to get more on track, so they're trying harder
Mhm.
with it. So I think it'll definitely be pretty good. Definitely a stronger MCU movie,
Then the first.
and probably better than the first.
Okay, yeah, I agree probably because I think it'll be closer to the Winter Soldier than the first Avenger.
Yeah,
So I think it'll be a better movie.
I think the first Avengers is just a better action movie
Yeah,
than like it does action really well.
for especially like the time that it came or to like start off the Captain America trilogy, I think that was
It's a very good
great
introduction to the
for
character.
the time period that he's in.
Mm.
To like incorporate that into the timeline of everything else, I think that was very good.
Yeah, but I've high expectations for
Yeah.
Brave New World.
So I can agree with that it'll be better than the first Avenger. Yeah.
Really, you do agree?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see in February. All right, what else you got?
I didn't write this one down, but what is your favorite superhero trilogy? Just like any superhero trilogy.
It has to be 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So if Beyond the Spider Verse was out right now,
That undoubtedly,
would be
even if Beyond the Spider Verse is like a 5 out of 10,
yeah,
it
that
would still be
that
my
would be
favorite.
my number one.
Yeah,
But
it just doesn't count.
I'm not
because
including it
because
because
two movies. So it's not Guardians, it's not Deadpool, it's not Captain America, it's not Iron Man. Thor doesn't count, but it definitely wouldn't be Thor. It would end up being something from the Fox. It would probably be the second set of the X-Men movies, First Class, Days of Future Past, and or I guess that doesn't count.
really, you counted all of those, like even Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, you counted those out. Like
No, hang on. I can't count the Fox movies though. I can't count the second ones because they have Dark Phoenix, which is 4. But if it wasn't for Dark Phoenix, if it was just
you can count that as fine.
wait, how many do they have? Days of Future Past, First Class, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, and isn't there another one? Am I missing one?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, if it wasn't for Dark Phoenix, that would be very, very strong. That would potentially be my favorite. Sam Raimi's are up there for sure.
Mine's Captain America. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, Captain America's close. Civil War is really, really great, and one of the best theater experiences I've had.
That's what so like most, in my opinion, most trilogies have 2 like powerhouses and then one that like could lack.
Also, I just remembered one. That's probably my answer. But
Okay.
keep going.
So like Winter Soldier and Civil War are both those powerhouses, and then as I just said, First Avenger, I like that. Like that's definitely not as good as the other 2 Captain America movies, but I still think that it's such a good movie on that. Like that's just my favorite. Like that's my favorite trilogy.
So if it wasn't for Dark Phoenix, that would be my answer. But since it's technically a fourth movie, a continuation, it won't count. Then my 2 would be the Sam Raimi's and The Dark Knight.
Okay, yeah, The Dark Knight was.
You've seen all of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all really, really good in my opinion. A lot of people crap on The Dark Knight Return or The Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not as good as The Dark Knight, but it is still really, really good.
The Rises is the one with like Ra's al Ghul.
No, that's Batman Begins.
Oh yeah,
it's Batman Begins. It's Ra's al Ghul, Joker, and then Bane.
Okay, yeah,
Bane / Catwoman.
Yeah.
So I would say it's definitely The Dark Knight, just because of the Dark Knight.
That's your favorite
movie.
of all 3.
The Dark Knight's probably my favorite of all 3. Yeah, I would probably say it's my favorite superhero trilogy.
That's what I meant. It's your favorite trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm forgetting something. But again, as soon as Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out,
like, for sure. Like that's
even
gonna be my number one. Then Cap. Then probably like maybe The Dark Knight. I'm not gonna say Spider-Man.
The Sam Raimi's.
Which
do you prefer, the Sam Raimi's or the Tom Holland's? Even though that's an actor and a director. Spider-Man's 1, 2, and 3, or Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home.
Probably Homecoming.
Boo. No.
I don't like Far From Home. Just like sets it back for me because I really like Homecoming.
But do you like Spider-Man's 1, 2, and 3?
No. It's Sam Raimi's. Just just thinking about it, like Spider-Man 3 is good enough to because like the first.
What do you have Spider-Man 3 out of 10?
I'd probably say that's like a 7.
Okay, that's high. Why would you put the first two at?
6.57.
That's
I
high
haven't
for.
watched them in so long. It's hard for me to. I'd
Yeah,
say
that's fair.
so. One. I'd say they're all around a 7 for me.
Okay, so you've got 3 sevens, but what? How would you do Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home? I'm
I'd
assuming
say
No Way Home for you is probably like a 9 or 10.
I'd say Homecoming's like a 7. Far From Home is like a 4,
Wow,
5 maybe.
I'm not even that low on.
I'd say Far From Home's like a 5, and then No Way Home is like an 8, 8.5.
Okay, so 8.5, 7, and 4. Yeah, does come down to slightly worse than.
Yeah.
the
I'd
sevens.
say, and like, and I would probably argue that like one of like I don't know, I don't have a ranking of the Sam Raimi ones, but one of them is going to be like 7.5 probably.
Yeah.
So like I'd say I like the Sam Raimi ones more than the Tom Holland ones
Valid.
or the Toby ones.
Yeah,
more than Tom
I
Holland.
agree. All right, we can do one more thingy, and then
Okay.
we'll close. LeBron James.
Okay, we'll go with this one. Do you have another one on your paper?
No, I just said Blade won't happen, and there's not even any discussion for that. It just probably won't.
Okay. What superpower would you want to have, but like not like too overpowered? Just like a
Super speed.
classic superpower.
Any iteration of it.
Okay.
Even if I'm like 1.5 times faster in every category than like a normal person, it's the correct answer.
Are you thinking like when you or okay? What's your favorite iteration of super speed? Is it like Quicksilver, the Flash?
I mean, it's definitely the Flash.
A-Train?
No, it's not A-Train. A-Train's a total goober.
Not as a character, but just like speed, like this power itself.
So Flash is definitely the most broken. I mean, being able to
Yeah.
phase
Time travel. I
and,
don't consider all of that when I think of super speed. Like,
No, yeah. So like a real, like not realistic, but to not be overly broken, I just take like season 1, The Flash from the show. Like that speed. I mean, he's got like the healing, which I think it makes sense. Like he doesn't really phase. He definitely doesn't time travel.
Mhm.
That speed is what I would take.
Okay.
If I wasn't taking like god level powers.
Mine is Makari from Eternals. That's my favorite iteration of super speed.
Oh yeah. We've talked about that. Yeah, that's a good one. I will say though, the Back to the Future scene, X-Men or not Back to the Future, the X-Men Days of Future Past scene
with Quicksilver.
Yes, with Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
Is the best super speed scene we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd
Like
say so.
it's such a good scene. That is a top 5 superhero scene of all time.
I'd say super.
Like of all time.
Yeah, probably
Top 5. Other notable mentions being like the end of Logan.
There's too many. Like
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Thanos on Titan. Thanos against the Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, that group, and the Guardians, that group on Titan is my favorite.
That's your favorite?
I would say that's my favorite, and then Quicksilver's probably 2 or 3.
My favorite's probably the portal scene.
From Endgame?
Yeah.
That's maybe in my top 10.
That's probably my favorite just
scene period
from like more in like Marvel movies, and like it's up there for
determining your favorite scene ever is so hard for me.
Yeah, because
but
the medium's too.
It's like picking a favorite song. Like there's just so you're constantly
there's too many different
experiencing
genres, feelings, like moods that you have that you just can't choose that. So
now that I think about it, though, my favorite scene is definitely something from Rick and Morty. Like
probably
or Monty Python, which again, we could have watched that while you were here. That is a missed opportunity. It's probably something Monty Python or Rick and Morty for favorite scene ever. But for favorite superhero scenes, the Quicksilver one is awesome. But yeah, super speed, dude. Everything is easier.
I can't think of another when you think of like starter pack like superhero pack.
Yeah, like flight, strength, telekinesis is a close second.
Yeah, that's like close to like Magneto kind of, and like he's super strong. Except it's not just metal; it's anything. So it's just, like even better, really.
Flight. Wait, did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Invisibility, but that one's just kind of pervy.
And like you're assuming that like durability comes with all of these as well, because like
I wasn't necessarily assuming that.
I do.
Okay, yeah.
Because like if you're gonna be a superhero, you need more than just
Oh,
like,
right.
standard. Or,
Okay, is this if we were going to be a superhero, if we were just gonna have these powers and like right now we get that power and like our life goes on as normal. But like if I got super speed, I wouldn't go be a superhero.
Right, right.
I would
Okay,
just
if you had to
keep
be, if you had
doing-
to be a hero, or if you had to be a super person.
Probably still super speed, or I'm trying to think of like stuff from anime that's really cool.
Yeah.
So this okay, so
I mean, I
this
can't do that because
yeah.
like curse techniques are too complex for like.
yeah, if we're going if it's only like the like staple superhero powers, then pretty much very little anime ones would count, other than like stuff in My Hero Academia because that's just superheroes. But there's an anime called Solo Leveling, and the main character essentially lived like his powers is he's like a video game character. So if he just does like certain missions, he levels up, and there's no ceiling on that. So the more he works, just the stronger he gets. So that one's just really cool. But again, for just like superhero powers, I would say
okay.
it's definitely
Yeah,
speed.
Yeah.
Also, is broken. Like the only times that speedsters lose is if they're up against another speedster, or if the author or writer like makes something dumb
you
happen.
have to like
because
incorporate that.
there's really no other way around it.
But it's still just such a cool thing that like you want to include it because it's so cool, but you can't have it be as powerful as it could be at all times because it just like it's too good.
Yeah, and in a mod like in just a normal setting, super speed is easily the best pick because you could work like 7 jobs, make like so much money. Like you could be like a that's how I'm viewing it. Is just like how much money can I make?
Well, even just like you can literally just go anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, you could go anywhere. You never have to pay for gas or a car or a flight.
And you can also just like take things like
you can steal. Yeah,
I mean, like I wouldn't do anything worse than that. I would say if I like had that, I definitely would steal stuff. But like I'm just putting that like I'm going to.
But it's like think about all the side hustles you could do. Like you could be like a professional video editor. You could be a farmer because like you could just go through the whole field, plant everything, and just leave it there. You could do people's homework. You could get your PhD in a matter of minutes. Like the possibilities are endless. The only issue is, and I saw this in an Instagram video that was like it was like the Justice League and it was the Flash talking about how he like gets mad at the fact that he has super speed because all of the stuff that he does fast, and I never thought about this. His brain still moves at a normal speed.
It does?
Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't it?
Wait, the Flash?
This was just like someone talking about this. Like, this wasn't the actual character saying this. It was like, so it was a scene from the Justice League.
I thought they said something about this, that your perception is
they might, but like that doesn't make any sense. Like the fact, so like if the Flash has a book and he reads it all in a minute, in like 60 seconds our time, he still had to read every single word and understand it. So there's no reason that his brain would be functioning like for him. He just read the whole book in like 3 or 4 hours, but the amount of time that passed was only 60 seconds.
Yeah, I
mean, so like he's still getting bored. Like there's no reason he wouldn't be getting bored if he was moving at that speed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I never really thought about it. Or like I've thought about like if I was making like a super speed character, I would do it as where your
right because it's just like better for the character.
Yeah. But
like logically,
when you think about that, then
like if he had to run to,
I just don't know how that works.
Like, if he had to run across. So think about like if you go on a mile run, you're fully aware the entire run. Like your brain is like you're just like thinking at a normal speed too. So. And it's the same. It's the same if you run, like if you're jogging or sprinting, your brain is moving at the same speed.
It's just like everything else around you slows down, really, and you're still moving at the same pace.
So it's like if you were the Flash and you ran from New York to Florida, you just ran that whole distance. Like it took you 2 seconds, but your brain just processed all of the information from New York to Florida. So that is the only drawback: is you would be bored all the time.
And just bring like book.
But then what if you get bored of I would get bored of the book. And like if someone said like read this book in 60 seconds, like use your super speed to read this book, I would read like 10 pages and then go do other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I would not sit down and read all 200 pages of a book. I wouldn't be able to. Like, this was my attention span.
Okay, real quick. I think we've talked about this, but I don't think it was on while we were recording. Just based off like the Avatar elements, what element do you think you would be if you were in the show? What element do you think you would bend, and then what element would you want to?
Air for both.
Okay, why?
For which one I think I would be, I just think I'm the most similar to most of the Airbender characters. Yeah, just like the kind of chill, but also like happy.
I could see you walking out in a.
Oh yeah, no, actually, oh yeah. And then which one's the best?
Shake your head though.
I mean, I've gotten a buzz cut multiple times. My girlfriend won't let me get it now though. Maybe one day if we get a bunch of patrons, eventually, I'd be down.
Go right ahead.
No, you would have to do it with us. Anyways, now as to which one's the best, it is air, and any other answer is stupid. Saying any other answer other than air is legitimately so dumb.
I still think it's earth.
It's not, because in theory, air in its strongest form is literally all of them. It's just telekinesis. That's all it is.
Yeah, but like I'm just like
with air, if someone hurls a rock at you with air, you just push it back. That's the same thing as throwing the rock in the first place.
Control of that rock.
But if you have air to a strong enough extent, you just overpower it.
Earth to a strong enough extent.
Just split the rock in half.
They can do that too.
But then it just balances out. Great. Then you can just hurl water at them, which they have nothing against, and then they die. Or you could just pick up their body and send them into the freaking sun. In theory, air is literally just telekinesis. But the show balances it.
Yes.
In the show, Earth is the strongest.
Okay.
In the show.
That's what I was saying.
But if you take out the limiters of like the story, air is the strongest. It's not even close. Like blood bending. You can do the same thing with air. You should be able to like move their body by controlling the air around them. Unless you're in a vacuum, unless you're in space, air is never not the best answer. Water is also, water and fire both are terrible. The only good part about water is the fact that it can heal. And I'm pretty sure only certain characters can do that.
Yeah.
Fire is easily the worst. It's only good for combat.
That's what I was going to say.
Or cooking, but it's like...
Well, that's what I'd do.
Fire?
I'd be a cook.
Oh, if you had fire?
That's what I would do.
Well, that's like all you can do. Just do like controlled burns. Yeah. But you wouldn't be making that much money with it.
You could be like a mechanic and use like blowtorch.
A welder, you mean?
Well, that's.
It's not the same thing.
In the same realm.
They work with metal, but so do like miners. Air is the best. That's our time. Goodbye.
Earth's better. Join the Discord, guys.
Join the Discord, please.
Because it gives us more stuff to talk about. Because you interact with us and we interact with you. And so it just makes everything better for everybody. And it's fun. And I'm working on it. So it's like a nice little server and stuff.
Yeah, you've done a lot of really good work. But also air is the best element.
No, it's also not.
No, it is. It's so stupid to say anything else.
TikTok and YouTube. And Instagram.
And Spotify. We have no listeners on Spotify.
Yes.
People don't think we're on Spotify.
We are.
Like I've talked to a lot of my friends, and they're like, "Oh, y'all are on Spotify." I was like, "Well, yeah."
But we have a good amount of people on YouTube. Like
YouTube is like it's like okay, good amount. It's like 20.
That's better. Like I'd rather people actually watch the videos than listen to it on Spotify.
I guess. Okay, so the thing is, maybe I don't know. We don't have to talk about this on air. It doesn't matter. That's our time.
Okay.
See you next week.
Peace.
Love all of you.